NA.
Correct.
Yeah, Complexity taking on OG. A bit of a misfit matchup, really, you know. For Call, they've already kind of had some disappointing results here on European soil. Just last week over in Copenhagen, falling far short of where they wanted to be. Hoping that doesn't happen again in Cologne.
Yeah, and up against kind of an unquantifiable roster in OG, who sure were at the same event, fielded a couple of missed maps, but still two teams where we're unsure on the barometer of these rosters, hoping Elite can add some much-needed firepower and experience to Complexity, and wondering what is this OG squad going to put together? What are their goals? Right now, it's just to close out this pistol round. 2 opening kills as Cole get very aggressive in the B apartments, and OG will run their way into the site.
Yeah, Grim trying to hold the line. JT will tap one out from the short side. That's Keto on the receiving end of it. But the bomb is still back in spawn here. OG are not committed to the idea of the B play just yet. And they now know that there were 2 players there. They even suspect another man could be making his way over on rotation. And they're right in that. They're in the A site. They're going to get the bomb down here. So the retake, the onus on this round is on Complexity. And they lose JT over in middle.
Yeah, if there was a guy to keep your eyes on in this game, it would be Regali, right? The Romanian rock star on the AWP. This guy is so talented, and for his relative level of inexperience, puts on some great games. Now, the bomb is default. There's the danger. He's got a kick. Can Floppy cross in? Fashion might have to pull the blade out. The shank in the sight. Floppy out of ammo, out of time. And they will spam him out. It got a bit scary there with only one man playing the bomb, but the smoke just gives Fasha a bit of room to move. And OG will move their way into first place with a pistol round taken. Very hard to know, just off of the names, if this OG team is going to be better than the previous one, right? It's not a clear one-to-one upgrade. While they've added in certainly experienced players with good firepower in players like, Fasha, Regali, even Keto, who had a real uptick towards the end of his time in Big after playing in the academy team, came in very refreshed. They also lost players like Flames, who had an incredible amount of firepower. So good that Vitality grabbed him while they could. And, of course, another Degster, strong AWPing presence. So it's not very clear just off of the names, but we'll have to see how this roster gels together with more and more time.
Yeah, and I think for a lot of people, when you say adding like experienced players who can bring some firepower, then you name someone like Fasha, maybe that's, for some folks, a bit of a thing to get your head around, because in Fnatic, there's no denying it, he was not someone who put up big numbers. But, I remember Fasha from Ecstatic, right? Yeah. That's the Fasha I think of when you talk about him bringing the firepower there. He wasn't so much of a supportive element like we saw him undertake in the Fnatic squad. Instead, he was more of the focal point. He was kind of the star of that team, and frequently he would go on to dominate games under the leadership of Bird from Sky on that team.
Yeah, definitely feels like he needs to make a re-entry into a more star role inside of this roster, as OG are definitely lacking that clear star. But it's a nice mix. I am happy to see Nexa back. Shut up in the calling seat as well.
No one can hear you. It's all good. Man.
That's good. Yeah, there's not a mic on my face or anything. All right, let's go back for a B here, OG.
Yeah, these couple of saved guns make it a little more interesting for Complexity. They still have something riding on this round. JT, oh buddy, he's all alone. One man back at the site and a dream. That's all he's got right now, and they call next to the dream catcher. He'll go ahead and just delete that for you. So that's OG sticking the landing on these conversions. Fasha gonna farm up a couple of these frags over in middle as Complexity. They kill him after one. But they're not gonna win the round.
No.
At best, they can hope to get out with this Galil from top mid. As OG claim a third, they're going to stick the landing on the conversions. So a nice start found here for OG on their map pick.
Who do you have, Harry, off the top? Are you an NA believer?
Oh, man.
Are you buying into the Elite?
Well, no, because here's the thing. I am an NA believer, but I don't know. Complexity have really had their woes lately, man.
So you're not an NA believer. That's what you're telling me there.
In general, yes. In general, yes. But maybe not here, as odd as that feels to say.
You live by the NA or you die by the NA, Harry.
Well, then in that case, then yeah, Complexity are going to win.
Well, it's not the most confident prediction I've ever heard, but the desk weren't exactly throwing theirs out there with glee
That's
either.
like a real, you know, polarized X.com mindset. You're one or the other there, Hugo.
Sorry, I'm not familiar with this website you're talking about, but that's okay. I don't want to know what you're looking at late in the night. Right now, we're going to be playing late into the night here. OG. A couple of late coffees as they try and warm into this T side. Going to pop out of Palace in the first go-round. What a ballsy call from Nexa. Just go flying in. They catch Cole in transition as they try and get back into A. They do it very quickly. 2 from Grim. Floppy smoked out a spawn. Going to push through it. And Keto hits a nice shot, but it's just him and Fasher, the latter of which is coming in on a lurk. Oh, Cole got to be ready for this one. They've got eyes on Con, but this smoke is fading, and Fasher's got an idea. There's one. It's still closed by Complexity, who, while we're caught off guard a little bit on that Palace pop, do manage to put a lid on it.
Yeah, a bit of sauce on that round, like a viscous liquid, Grim, and a Liege combined for all 5. Love to see it. Well handled in that first look at the rifles for Complexity. Very clean. Now just down to the Deegs for OG.
Well, I like this setup as well. They've got a man in window covering them, but they can play this orb contact. Even if Halzuk misses, Elige is here to help out. And he doesn't miss, does he? Deagle gets destroyed. Regali looks for his entry. Floppy playing very safe in CT again, throws out his smoke that he can play behind or climb over on Ticket. He's going to move into the site. That almost got awkward. But one by one, the Deagles are getting picked apart here. And a nice 5 alive round would do wonders for the economy of Cole.
Yeah, this really is just kind of a damage-dealing mission at this point in time, and Cole playing it very, very safe. You know, I do like that no risks are being taken. No one's got that thought of hunting the ecos. Hang on a second. Hang on, those dark thoughts are creeping into Elige's brain. Well, hang on, they are only on pistols.
Well, as long as it's supplemented by flash, we'll allow it. You know, you can make those peaks. You got to kill them eventually. And Grim will see to it as Elige swings out on his contact. It's a nice 1-2. Left, right, good night. Complexity find 5 alive going into the buy round here from OG. Regali's orb delayed in this game. Halzuk did not have to wait long himself. And this definitely is just a taste test for both teams, Harry. What flavor will come up?
Oh, it's another brawl over in middle. I do like the Complexity of putting a lot of attention here early on.
Miss smoke from OG.
Less than ideal. And having to extinguish that one there, they've already burned through the majority of these smokes on the T side, right? The round's really only just started and they're already down to just 1 smoke left in the round. So it might have to be a bit of a brawly round here for OG if they want to find a way into it. And that's not the start they wanted. JT opens on his B defense. He'll even shut down that second man in. This is grinding to such an awkward halt for OG, trying to force this play into the B site. It was only JT there left to get past, but he puts on a clinic and does not let them out of the apartments.
Halzuk getting loud as well, screaming down the house. Good energy for Cole so far in this game, who recover from OG's strong start off the back of the pistol round. You know, not only expect Elige to perform well, and he certainly had some incredible games back in Copenhagen despite Cole's relative lack of success. I also think we need a lot more out of Grim in this team. right? We saw just how much this guy can offer in previous rosters back on Triumph, and even at some point in Liquid. On certain maps, Grim could look incredible, Inferno especially. So getting back to comfortable positions, as he talked about in that interview, not having to make any real role changes, in adding a Legion who kind of slotted for Fang in a lot of places, who is meant to be the star of this team. I think there definitely is room for these two American players to pop off. I think that's what we'd like to see.
Oh, it nearly gets awkward for Hauser. Luckily enough, the Eagle shot just sails right on past him. He was not looking at ramp. That could have been the opener. But instead, nothing more than a what if. Nice. And a Liege will promptly send OG packing from atop the stairs. He's come into this, looking fired up as a Liege, really wanting to be involved in how a lot of these rounds shake up. And I think that's the exact form and approach you want from this guy. A household name of NA Counter-Strike. And so you want him exerting some dominance over this game early. Just putting the fear in OG. And I think he's lived up to that across these first few rounds. That was just pistols for the OG crew, though. They're going to come back out with the rifles now. The AWP in hand for Regali.
Yeah, worth the wait, without a doubt. Round needs to be finding opening kills. Regali even talking about how in basically every team he's ever been in, he's had to be the star player. He's had to be the big ticket. And, that translates to IEM and AWPer at a certain level, right? You can't be a quiet AWPer in the current meta of Counter-Strike. You've got to be putting on a show. Such a hefty investment, such a pivotal role. And of course, it depends team to team in how you're set up, how much freedom you're given. But Regali, he takes space, he demands respect. So let's get some of that here in middle. Control taken, Cole will get smoked off fully. OG can establish their feet in mid. Oh, a Liege. Has to take the safe pathing out. Bomb is grouping back on A, but Floppy is... Oh, he's seen something, and that's an off-angle Keto can't clear. Put a spanner in the works. The bomb's rotated out of ramp now for Nexa. He's going to regroup. Looks like it wants to end B, but this could still just be up-rotated. It doesn't matter what OG do in middle or up cat. If JT kills Nexa, the round is done.
Oh, he won't commit to that fight. He thinks that it's clear. He gave it a pretty deep check, but right on that corner was Nexa with the bomb still. JT's got the drop on the first man, makes it a double, and Grim moves in to support. They go back, they check for Nexa, and even though he's got that kill to propel himself into the site, still needs to churn his way through a 1v5. Gets it down to 3. There's a man tucked in at the bench. Nexa might even be aware of this, but at 22 HP, he can't take any risks here, and he's going to get backstabbed up through short. It's Floppy to find him. And every time they win a round, Hauser gets louder and louder.
Someone tell him it's a whole BO3. He can't keep up that progression, Harry. He will have no voice by the end. Some really nice shooting out of JT as well. Even though he misses that awkward timing to just finding the bomb, the Horcrux to win the round did not matter. Fast for Fasher into connector. It's going to be a fast ace split with pistols, and Halzak's caught off by the timing. Quick kill on the AWPer. Floppy's going to try and trap Fasher in the corner. That smoke gives him a way out, though, into safety. Ooh, awkward timing with a nade pull. A Liege has to do everything. Fiku picks it from ramp, and a flick for Fasher finds another, leaving JT in a clutch.
Yeah, not impossible, though. Not impossible for the man at the helm of Cole. And every one of these B plays, he's delivered multi-kills so far. Now they're asking him to clutch in an A retake. It's the presence of Nexa in mid, but oh no, what a whiff! He's given JT the fight. And Nexa missing that opportunity to just seal the deal on the round there, put a stop to the clutch, and now the pressure's still on. JT is low, and Fiku, he is a clutch player. He always has been, even in the old OG roster. Fiku is the man you would want alive in these clutches. Does he still have that quality?
No way.
That X Factor he will, plays it perfectly, just waits for the tap, knows that all the pressure's on JT, and he keeps it very collected, very calm in that low econ round to win the 1v1.
Yeah, that's a round where you say play for yourself, the two players and the 2-on-1 there, because JT was so ready for someone else close connector, someone challenging him, trying to re-smoke the smoke to give him a way out, but Fiku's just playing the bomb, and the clock with the planted default doesn't want to give any way back in for JT and stalls him out completely, forcing him to stick. Nice round out of OG. Only a half buy. They come through with their fourth. And that will fund the AWP as well.
Yeah, I think in that round there as well, you kind of got a glimpse of like Fasher letting his hair down a little bit, right? He just runs it down Con from the get-go, off the rip, no flash, no nothing to signify that play coming in. And it's kind of the pace and the confidence that he's playing with that let him get the drop on Halzerk. Then he attempts the no-scope, down into Sandwich. Then he 180 flicks the guy pushing through jungle. That's he's putting himself in a lot of the kind of swing engagements there, and he's throwing himself into it with glee. I think that's a good sign of things to come, perhaps. Ooh. But this time, first man found is Fasher from Halzerk's AWP.
Halzerk's always so much fun to watch on this AWP. He's going to get very quickly back to CT and leave Floppy set up for the multi-kill under balcony. They can support with flashes as well. He's about to be popped off himself, but he still hits a blind shot. Flashes Floppy in for more. He's got a second one for the swing. Floppy's got to be careful. Blinded by his teammate. Might not matter, though. No one's swinging out Palace. No one's trading anything. And so Grim's able to stop Keto, segregating OG to ramp. Nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. And Floppy takes another head, leaving just this AWP at the back of the pack. This has not gone well for OG, and Elige is here to finish the job. 6-4, and a clean round for Complexity as well. Not a single casualty. As close as reset is that round. Not got quite the old connotations of what that word means, but yeah, there's not a lot of money for OG here, certainly. Two players could buy. They could field 3 AKs if they wanted. But that's going to take a tack and a chat to Rugger.
And the quietest Halzerk's been after a round win is in the round where he's kind of the instrumental piece of the puzzle. Opening it up with the AWP, taking it one step further. He's trying to use his screaming instead to hype up his teammates as opposed to sing his own praises.
Good to keep that energy flowing, Keep your team's head in it. Halzerk going for another opener towards the B apartments. We've had 2 boosts, one in window towards ladder and one towards B. So Cole just trying to take unorthodox positions to start this round, keep OG guessing. With new spots, Elige all spotted, but that's a beautiful dig. The German dig, we know about it. Keto shows us. Still traded out by Halzerk, who holds down B and shuts the doors with a Molotov. But this is not the end of the world for OG, who have got this AK brought up on Fiku and still have deep control of middle. They can decide to slow it down and group up. Looking to end on A instead, where only Floppy is nearby, and even he could be in the prying eyes of Fiku.
Yeah, Fiku normally does great work on his lonesome, though. I think this is kind of the guy you would want in this position here. Trying to control the rotates and the pathing that's open to Complexity, and maybe he can thin the herd to make this a round for OG.
Oh, they have
He's
to
not open a Floppy. They will have to clear this, and the timing is just off. Now Fiku dropping this smoke. They might look to swing through, but it cuts them out. He's got both Complexity players trapped. That Molly even applies more pressure. They both go running through it. Now he's got the sound cue. Now he knows that he has sold Complexity down the river in this round. This is beautifully done from Fiku to create something from nothing for OG.
He also knows they're not saving. Even though they might just make that call soon, he has cleared out the back of market. So they must be in CT spawn. They must be making a move. It's not a B apartment save off of that bomb plant. Now Cole have every reason to go for this round. 2 players on pistols, although they may not know it. That time is so far expired though, and it doesn't look like they're going to be going for this. Just exits on the way out. OG find 5 off of pistols. That's 2 eco rounds, 1. They're going for the ninja? Surely not. There's not enough time for this.
No.
Oh, even if they got the kills, I don't think so. Back from triple, Grim will find a second exit. They have the money to risk going for these kills, but unbeknownst to them, OG weren't saving anything. They had 2 Deagles there running away from A. It definitely looked like Halzuk wanted that stick, right? Running in with a smoke.
Yeah, that's...
But they left that very late.
Yeah, and you know, it's kind of by design, right? You know that guy on shorts heard you running away, but that's where, as you say, the fact that like Fiku had already kind of deep cleared the B site and he knew they weren't saving, that's why it doesn't work out. I think, you know, if it weren't for Fiku being heads up over towards short, that actually could have had a far more interesting result. And I like that they even have, you know, the bravado to go for a play like that. There's no arguing that Complexity are playing a confident game right now. In this round, though, they lose players over in middle after they attempt to batten down the hatches on OG's mid-take. JT's trapped in a bit of an awkward spot, and he will fall to Fasha up in Palace. Grim taking up his steed over in jungle, looks to hold the line. But this is awkward.
Oops.
Halzuk's moving in through the window, going to look to reinforce this position with Grim. They want to clear middle together.
Oh, nade, imagine. Just lobby nade behind boxes. It's a free kill. Makito's not going to move till very late in the round. He has no reason to. He's done his duty. 2 frags already. Cole feel like they've cleared mid, and OG are just waiting for anyone to aggress. Cole will check mid again, but Keto, as he starts to peer back into middle, Halzuk hits a very important shot. The bomb drops in though. Or Fasha does rather, looking for fights instead, and they're both on a plate. He'll take 1.5. Grim in the clutch. He's got a nade for that plant. Fiku's going to go for it. Fake out. Grim with a drop, and Fiku swings wide and surprises Grim for a 6th round for OG. Very competitive game right now. Exactly what we would have wanted.
Yeah, I think something that is kind of cool about this OG squad is that we hopefully get to see more out of guys like Fiku, who in the old iteration of OG, he always had this tremendous ability in clutches to find his way and look very composed in them, but you had other players in that team who very much took the limelight, right? Whether that was Dexter, whether that was Flames, they were kind of the big selling point, and Fiku would just kind of be there doing his work in the background whenever it was required. Now, I think in this iteration of the squad, you will need more of those clutches out of Fiku. You will need more of those brilliant individual moments, and he's already given them a couple of them in this game so far.
Yeah, and you wonder, you know, with the even though, you know, some of these players are still the same, you wonder if just the change of leading, you know, having someone like Nexa back in can inspire more faith, can give more identity to OG, because for the longest time this was a roster without an without an in-game leader. Rather, it was, you know, Nico towards the end, Danish Nico, you know, filling in that role. Sure, he'd done it before in previous teams gone by. He's often been a second caller in rosters, but it was always, you know, patching up problems for OG. Now we have, you know, Nexa, who has got plenty more experience in this department. Elige, a heroic play out middle, flies through connector and finds Regali on that opener. JT got spotted though, and Fiku will just take that space, ramping into this B bomb site. Second player right below him, he's looking towards Cat. That is the expected position, but he gets a spot off. Grim's seen, dropping his util, somehow survives the escape, and they will just call it even. 4-on-4 with very little util for Complexity. Leaves OG options.
I gotta say, I like how Complexity, when they end up in these moments where it all goes a little bit quiet, they don't like to leave a lot to the imagination, right? They are keen on getting the info ahead of time. Even now, you see that second rotate over towards B. They use it to assemble the boost on short, and now they're aggroing mid, trying to take info away from here. So as time's gone on, they've built up a bit of a better picture as to where this play was ending up. Is that going to do them any favors, though? Even though they're out in mid and they find Fasha down in lower, it's still this 3v3 retake laid out ahead of them.
That could have been the spam on the plant, but OG get it down, and this kill decides it all. Grim caught creeping through connector. Fiku's found him, and as long as he doesn't swing out and give Halzuk a reason to believe, well, now Cole might go for it because Elige is on a quick flank. It was being held. Timing's a miss. Nexa gets cleared perfectly by Elige, and with this bomb plant, Keto is not in position to stop any sort of defuse. They can cover the stick, smoke on the bomb. Halzuk's going for it, and Elige has got that cover. Complexity win a 2-on-3 retake, looking good.
Yeah, that one's going to hurt, man. You know, Fiku opens up the round with that pick at B. He extends the man advantage even further by fighting deep into the jungle, but ends up taking just one fight too many on his way out of the round. Yeah. And it gives Complexity that tiny nudge that they needed to follow through. And I think they were always, no matter really what Fiku got away with, they were always interested in giving Elige that space. Getting fed the kill over towards jungle, well, that only galvanized the belief in that retake.
Really hurts as well because you feel like you've done all you can. You've got 3 kills on Fiku, and yeah, it's just the one extra fight that he takes that starts the ball rolling for Complexity. If you can just buy a few more seconds, could be a very different situation for OG. Instead, their money's on the line here, and this would put them on pistols for round 15 as well. It could net Cole a great CT side on OG's pick. But OG have won 2 low eco, two low economy rounds before. Keto, that's out of nowhere. Blinding headshots as they climb up the ladder. It's Halzuk to trade.
Yeah, both barrels got spotted, both Floppy and Elige. That was almost too easy for Keto there to get a double kill like that. A very, very weird fight over towards Palace. You won't often see engagements ever happen in that fashion. But OG will take it. They kind of caught lightning in a bottle to open up this round. Halzuk moving back through the spawn. He's got JT with him. This is another example of like Cole employing this kind of buddy system where they roam together. Like a wolf pack. With Halzuk dinged and Fiku swinging out. I mean, we say wolf pack, there's the lone wolf of OG. Rearing his head out from the palace and locking in an equal scoreline. OG giving it all they've got. This was another one of these like low econ rounds that they find the results in. And so this is a very close game. There is not much separating these teams right now. I mean, it's about to go down to nothing. And this is in spite of both Elige and Grim topping the charts. You've got a strong AWPing presence in Halzuk. OG are still willing to meet them halfway every step of the way.
Yeah, it's definitely question marks with the map pool as well in this kind of matchup because especially for OG, you don't really know what they're comfortable with, right? Almost no maps played with this new roster. Map 2, which is Cole's pick, of course, is Overpass. That's a pretty tactical map that OG questions whether they've had the time to piece stuff together. Mirage, of course, a very good plug-and-play map. And so no surprise to see OG finding good success here on this T side already. But they avoid disaster by winning that force buy. Not the first and not the last. Cole looking to fight for middle this time. They're going to go for the boost out under. Elige on a FAMAS. They're the ones lacking in the last round of the half. And finally, Regali's AWP sings. Well, taps down under, catch JT. They saw him off the bottom of the boost. Keto does give away a kill, but if you look at the minimap, you'll see Fiku's basically in B, and there's no one here to stop him. If he were to make a play now, it would be his sight. Grim gets back in just in time. But even he is scared at the prospect.
Yeah, I mean, Grim's rotating to be like speaks volumes as to how little info Complexity have. He is so paranoid as he makes his way in that they could have already been in the site.
They're going for a full gamble. This is great for Complexity. This is coming in at the right time. Fash's Lurk might not be able to do anything in time, and OG might just walk into all 3 players.
Grim, he is waiting patiently, but it doesn't matter. Fiku finds the opener. Still, more where that came from. The rest of the stack now moves into position.
Dear.
Floppy locking it down with a double.
Nice.
Hell, why not make it 3? It's just Fasher on this wraparound, and Halzerg left to beat. He deals with Floppy, but he can't go any further. Halzerg silences him with the scout, and just like that, Complexity win out this first half of play.
Now spotted, and that FAMAS not up to the task. Furia find 2 kills early. This is well set for them now.
Yeah, Warrior spots the players moving forward. He's opted to play the long con for an AWP. Just continuing with the scout rather than buying an M4 of some description, and that might prove to be very awkward. We have seen some headshots from him in this game already, but we're really asking for a lot to deliver in a 3 versus 5. Bomb heading towards B, it seems. 45 seconds on the clock in terms of util. There is a incendiary for Demka, which you see deployed towards Monster. Demka's very much alone. Bro is surely about to walk the plank if he goes beyond this position. Very nasty spot for Cello. What else can be done now? 25 seconds. There'll be some urgency. Can Waro find some kind of nasty shot through the boxes here? Saves Art with some big headshots. 5-1 for Furia. They are loving life on Overpass at present.
They're feeling it. See with some of these shots they're landing. And just those 2 early kills in this round really put Monty down in the dumps. Now, Waro 2K had a lot more money than the rest of the team.
Oh, this is weird.
Yeah, and he's brought an AWP into this next round, while everyone else is going to have the pistols. These rounds I always find interesting. I don't know if Waro wants to go too crazy, like hyper-active with the AWP here, or if he ends up trying to think about saving it.
Yeah, I left my Abacus in the hotel, so we'll have to see how much money Monty have in the next round, considering Waro has kept the money. He didn't buy the M4 in the last round and kept the scout, and has now bought the AWP around the pistols in round 7. But let's see how it plays out. Very aggressive on B already are Monty, and he had an opportunity. He may rue that whiff later on.
Yeah, that especially sucks because Furia might not have expected the AWP in this round.
For sure. Now, what did Furia think about the rest of the round? Surely they can't all have rifles. Heading towards B now. With that.
Complexity hold the lead by the narrowest of margins. There's not a lot between these two teams right now. It's a Liege topping the charts for Complexity. On the other side, Lone Wolf Fiku putting in the legwork for OG. It's been a very, very, very close first half here. Not a lot in it. And so as we head into the second, we're still kind of waiting for that team to really step up and take control of this game. It's OG's map pick here, and they're moving on to the CT side. So let's see what they've got up their sleeve in the pistol.
Yeah, some quiet faces on OG so far, whereas everyone except JT in double digits for Complexity. So warm and ready to go. We've got an A split coming down the pipeline. 3 players in middle. They could go up cat, to be honest, with this kind of play. JT showing out ramp. They are going to run up the ladder. It's Fiku here to stop them. Who else would you want in this position? He's been hitting bangers all day. Nexo waiting as well. There's even a baiting player in the site. Fiku might not let them get that far. And it's Keto swinging out with him to drop that bomb. 2 on 3. The dualies coming clutch. And Halzerg is left alone.
Now, the pistol is an AWP's best friend, but expecting him to offer up much in this 1v3 might be wishful thinking. With that said, he's found an interesting gap here. They know that bomb was dropped over towards short, so we're seeing OG shuffle players around, but they're all on very long rotates through the apartments. Halzerk is looking for this B-site player, and he spotted him now back at the market. Might just have to attempt the plant, and that's when the swing comes through out of the apartments. Fasher there, just in the nick of time. OG secure the pistol round, and they do it. Make it look quite nice as they saunter on by with an 8th.
Yeah, triple B setup as well, as Keto boosted up inside of the site. So they were very ready for that play, or at least that ending destination. Complexity is just going to take a full eco, no bomb plant, so no reason to go too gung-ho into this round. OG gets smoked out, but they're still willing to fight. This is dangerous. The paper cuts are coming in right now. Glock spraying through smokes. Ooh. Piku's feeling it today. Oh, just about. Double dink for a Liege. It's not enough. Halzerk, maybe he can finish it. But no.
The Glocks did a lot. I mean, they hit a lot of bullets, but they just didn't do a lot of damage, you know? It's all well and good. Wasn't meant to be around that Complexity win, and they knew it. But that's OG now with both pistols and both conversions on their map pick.
And remember, this is lower bracket here in round 1 of the play-ins. Loser goes home. Winner goes on to fight Apex. Definitely a tough team to get through, who took Astralis all the way to 3 maps today. Lost in overtime.
And it's just one man, right? It's crazy to think about. Like Apex with an X.
You yeah.
You know?
Sorry, I thought you were talking about Astralis.
He's a pretty big deal, actually.
No, for sure. That was your best joke yet, yeah.
Right, Complexity have their eyes set on this B play. Couple of Max to try and lead the charge. Util getting lobbed over by Halzerk to tee up the rest of his team, and in they come. Liege falls first. Grim doesn't last much longer, and Fiku holds it down from short. This is a nice display from OGers all across the map. They'll win out these fights. Halzerk doesn't know where to look. Too many angles, too many targets. And he was all alone. It's OG, a hot streak to open up this second half with. Now it's not just the pistol. Now they've won that first, weird kind of quasi-investment that Complexity brought to the table. And that's going to leave them on the back foot in a pretty big way. OG now stand to get 4 rounds for free off the break of this second half.
Yeah, these are dangerous rounds, though, to write off. Without a doubt, Tech9 and Armor, Cole going for an A execute, and no one inside of the bomb site. So let's see the routing of Cole. How deep will they go if they can take back CT spawn and actually get some real estate, so they're not just locked out and trapped in a post plant. This could get very dicey. Keto needs something massive here. It's a spray and a half, but he can't finish off Grim, and they've taken space. They've taken an AK as well. As far as these rounds go, Cole already doing what they must to make it very interesting. Yorp coming in through spawn. They grab the AK as well. Regali, he has no support. That's the danger, so he just kind of has to hold on. He can't be the one to force fights. His team must come through from jungle first.
Yeah, they've got to apply the pressure. He's got to be there to just deny the fallback into CT. They're creeping up. Oh, I'm so nervous because on this swing, Fasher really had to hit these, and they're allowed to get out through the spawn. Regali's doing all he can from the spawn side, closing the distance with the dualies. Halzerk on the Glock, trying to win the 1v1, and there just simply isn't time for Fasher. Halzerk rocks out with his Glocks out and locks in that round for Complexity.
2 Glock kills in the eco round. They have a bunch of Tech9s. They don't even matter. Halzerk does it himself. That is a robbery of a round. You could see that getting out of control when Keto only goes 1 for 1. Not only are you giving guns over, but you're giving space. And OG have too many players retaking from jungle. Regardless, just left alone. He gets a double kill here from CT, but because of the dink, it's so easy for Halzerk to finish off that round. And there's nothing OG can do about it with the bomb so far ticked. And just as we said, OG, they were going to get their 4th round for free. Well, it comes at a cost. Oh dear. This game stays tight as ever. And it's Fiku, the top of the server, to get picked first by Halzerk's Orb. So Regali's got to throw himself back in. There's no one on ramp though, not yet. Patience will pay though.
It's something that I think Cole were good at doing in moments like this when they were on the CT side, was grouping up, playing for that info, right? Trying to figure out where the play's coming in before it even arrives. For OG, they're not really in that same position to do it right now. You could have these B players try and get info as to what's happening in mid. But for the most part, OG are just having to react to what Complexity bring their way. And so that's at least a nice opener for Regali. It's just he's going to get pressured every step of the way. And so it's just one kill from that AWP. OG now needed Keto to pick up the pieces, and he is nailed by Elige. This one is very quickly getting out of hand. Fasha back from the spawn side, now left in this alone. He's seen the AWP, he goes looking for it, and that's the bomb tumbling away from Complexity. Now they're trapped behind their own smoke over towards the connector. This has gotten so weird in the 1v3. Fasha has the bomb to play around, but he goes swinging out, and Elige will get rid of him. Saving the day for Complexity. That round had so much potential to get weird.
Yeah, the time, that was the scariest part. 12 seconds when he goes for that swing there. He's probably expecting them way closer. Cole left it down to the wire. But a round is a round, and they are back in with back-to-back. So Elige hitting some very important shots in this one. He is certainly performing like the star we expect him, and we needed to fight middle, and it's only a couple of pistols. Keto will get a free gun. Redeem that.
Even knowing that someone, pushed in through lower like that and just went and cleared all the apartments is a bit of a weird one to deal with if you're Complexity. They'll just hold in middle. They'll wait and see if there's any reactions given, and Fiku does give a fight over there. So a bit of pressure now alleviated. The AWP swapped around onto JT. And this scavenged gun, currently sat over towards jungle, will be high and dry away from the B site take that Complexity are looking to embark upon.
Yeah, and they read this one really well, even though Keto started here and got that AK. Of course, he's trying to get ahead of things and rotate round, trying to stay ahead of where Cole are going, and they just go right into the B-bomb site, avoiding it. It will allow the save. But other than the AK, it's of minimal value here for OG.
Can we look at Halzerk's POV? I want everyone to... There you go. He's using... Oh, he just turned away. He's using this little grimy angle, by the way. This is a good one. If you don't break the window, you have this vision as a T to look through. And as you can see, no one's seeing him there, but he's seeing them. So steal that one, your pugs, while you can.
One-way wood. All right, pistols here, maybe. Oh, that's a big one. JT's low. He's got the AWP. They might be able to get a lot of money off of this. Whoa, Regali, chill. Halzerk will ensure it comes at a cost, though, and he actually keeps the AWP. But that's a very nice try for OG at the exit. Regali hit some bangers. He can buy up the AWP anyway, so all's well that ends well.
Yeah, nice couple of exits for OG, and then contained by Halzerk. He needs them AWPs every damn round.
Every damn round.
And so there's even the we get to see that head-to-head between him and Regali now, as Regali brings his out for OG, taking it over towards this B site. Doesn't seem like they're destined to meet each other just yet, as Complexity instead send their AWP and the bulk of their forces out into mid. Creeping behind this smoke, Halzerk just going to be scoped up over the top of it, hoping that some unsuspecting OG player walks into his crosshair. And when that doesn't happen, they're going to start to take the space up through short. JT nails the opener. Regali now, the last line of defense for this B site. Needs to buy a bit of time. Fasha moves in. Will take one with him. Before all is said and done, Regali still tucked in at the van is run down by Halzerk. Who's got a bit of a personal vendetta against him ever since that last round. bests him in the head-to-head, and now this falls into the 2v2. With Hauser given a bit of freedom on this AWP, he's going to need it. Back at the site, looks for the short fight, will win it. Oh, a tag down range, but not quite finishing the job. Now will Fiku be the one that gets away and lives to make him regret this day, or does Hauser hold the line? Pistol out, not moving, unwavering, and Fiku, surely you don't check this deep at the back. He will swing it, and he finds him. Kit picked up. Fiku sticks the landing in the clutch. Just add it to the tally for this guy. Put him in a 1vx, and he's favored no matter what it feels like.
He keeps doing it, man. That really helps for Hauser, who played that round so well. All the entries onto B, you know, trades out JT, hits the tag, and he even reads, just due to the time, that last player has to be coming from at the back of the site. He's not going to get close peeked. He's going to get wide peaked, and just one P250 shot, it's not enough. Hoping he's low off his AWP tag.
Yeah, he knew he tagged him, right? That's why he's down at the P250.
That hurts.
It's like a 60 damage tag thereabouts.
That's third clutch in the map for Fiku. A rough one. So close, though, this whole game has been. It's never been one team, you're running away with it. Sure, a couple of streaks of 3 and 4 in there, but then it's all just traded back immediately. Cole's money on the line here, though. They forced up 2 AKs. That's all that remains. And OG have taken ramp back as well. They are in a very good position for this round. Regali has a perfect one-and-done spot, but the smoke will come down Con, and he will lose vision of middle. More often than not, you're going to see Tease climb into that smoke, go over the stairs, sneak into jungle. And so his ramp players have to be hyper-aware of this backstab. The Regali can't really hold anymore. He's on Palace. Flash thrown, JT trying to get them out Con, and OG scrambling.
Regali's called, he's got Palace. You do not have to worry about that. Keto trying to fixate on the stairs, goes 1 for 1, about what you could have wanted out of him here. It's going to tee up Fasher quite nicely over at ramp to just play around the bomb, play around this crossfire with Regali. And for Floppy, he's really hard-pressed to do much. That flash will at least get him out of the Palace into the site now. Bomb's been retrieved, but they're not ready for Fasher over at ramp. He has a kill already to his name. They should have been aware that there was this second ramp man in play.
I think he's just also trying to desperately plant the seconds left of the round. You know, you don't want to get killed after time. Planting forces that kill to come through. It's a pretty desperate round for Complexity. But yeah, nice setup for OG with Regali reigning supreme in Sport, playing a pretty passive AWP right now in comparison to Hauser, who's going for a lot of openings, dropping in under, boosting up B. Regardless, he's playing back towards Ticket and CT, sometimes in the window. But he's hitting all the shots he has to hit right now, and Cole have got to take a full eco, giving OG a 2-round lead, presuming all goes to plan.
They're hoping that it's going to be the AWP over towards like back CT, but it isn't. Instead, it's Keto on triple, and they waterfall onto him, but it's contained nicely.
Oh, plant is big.
Plant's a win. Yeah. Plant's a dub. That's really all you were hoping for in this round, and they get it. That's fine. That's a moral victory for Complexity, an economic victory for Complexity.
A good eco. That's what you tell yourself. And yeah, it certainly is. It's going to fund them fully. They could buy anyway, but now, you know, AWP is an option. And all the trimmings. But a 2-round lead here for OG right at the end of the map. They're picking the series, Overpass and Inferno to follow. And only one team will survive the night. Halzerk could have bought the AWP but would have had no helmet. He's gone for the Krieg. Bit of a Krieger. Thoughts?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I think even though it's nowhere near as good as it was, thank God, all those years ago, you know, it still very much has a place. I think it's good in some of the angles that the AWP feels comfortable on and feels well versed in, and it does have a good potential to even counter AWP at times. It feels like if you're looking for some of these like more jiggly, wiggly mid fights where you're looking over the top of the smoke. Think about like how a lot of the routing's gone for Halzerk in this game. It's been run out middle with that con smoke down, take the peek over the top of it and wait to catch players rotating. Yeah, the Krieg's going to be able to do that within a similar proficiency to the AWP. So, you know, just kind of making the best out of the hand he's dealt here with the money they had coming into this round. And yeah, it looks like he wants to commit to some of that mid-pathing where he can put this Krieg to use. Regali is there waiting on the other side.
He's a bit of a headhunter though, is Halzerk, as far as AWPers go. Saw him with a scout at the end of the half, hit that necessary headshot. Keto getting curious. He's got the AWP to support. Under's the danger, but it's mollied off right now, and they'll trade positions. Great flash, and he's seen JT, got him boxed in. Needs to come for support. JT just swings and somehow wins that engagement. No way he should. Flash to mid is a fake out. Regali knows it. JT's still going to hold on just in case there was more where that came from. And he wouldn't be wrong. But Cole, meanwhile, grouped for an A hit. Oh, missed flick. And it's all fine anyway. They're out A.
Yeah, Fasha's got a lot to do here. And not really the best spot to do it from. Mollied out. Forces him to reposition around CT bound now. OG, you might just be thinking about saving, and you might have been thinking it for a little while. They're going to give this a look in, see if anything presents itself.
Yeah.
That kill, now they're interested. Before, they were hanging around. They were waiting to see if anything was given to them, but you tell yourself, there's no way Complexity come a knocking.
They've got the money for this, but they need to go quick because the clock's going to be the biggest issue. It's already half ticked, and that flash buys you another 5 seconds. I don't think there's a way OG can win this unless they get on this bomb right here, right now.
Oh,
everyone
no!
dies, everyone gone, and OG win the round in the blink of an eye.
A tornado of death just ripped through the site in seconds, man. OG... from nowhere, you know, that on time alone should have been, you're dead on, man. Once they flash Fiku over towards the connector, they've slowed it down even more. There shouldn't have been a way back in, but it's Complexity trying to play around those crossfires, trying to support one another that actually betrays them. Everyone loses their fight. Not a single Cold player picked up the kill when they really needed to, and you only needed one of these fights to go your way, and suddenly you had the ability to slow that defuse down and win the round.
Yeah, even just one surviving from those 3 fights might have been enough, right? Just get that player off the bomb at the right timing, and it's yours. Now OG start to slip ahead, run away with the end of their map pick.
And it's almost funny, isn't it? Because we saw Complexity themselves try a last-second retake in that first half, and it didn't work, and they did get shut out. But when OG do it, and they do it beautifully, Keto's opened up this round with a double kill over at ramp, and it's not just an ordinary double kill. The bomb tumbles away from Complexity in this. So this buy round was meant to be where Complexity dug deep and kind of dusted themselves off, picked themselves back up, and ventured into the series again. Instead, they've lost 2. They don't have the bomb. They don't have money for the next round. This is dire straits here. You might be witnessing the kind of death of Complexity on Mirage right now.
Got to do something heroic in this 3-on-5. JT and Grim up connector, and Halzerk on bomb retrieval. Keto has that cross. He should be good for 1 here, but Grim's going to find him. Fiku's still stuck behind default, crouched down, and Nexa trying to get that info for him from CT. Over the top, JT's gone, and they should be able to trade this one at worst case. Grim doesn't check default. It's all up to Halzerk. He's got that bomb, but he's got nothing else. Does catch Fiku swinging off the back of that flash. 20 seconds. Maybe there's a way he can isolate these fights. He doesn't know, though. Has no info to go off of, and Regali back from spawn picks him up. What a warm-up and recovery for OG. We said after the first half, only Cole, 4 players in double digits in kills. Everyone was performing well. OG were extremely quiet. It was just Fiku putting on rounds, finding 3 clutches in this map so far. Right now, all the stars are aligning. Fash is having some fantastic rounds up on close A. Fiku has been, as I said, pulling out these clutches, and Regali round after round warming in on this AWP.
Yeah, early on it felt like Complexity had a kind of large degree of movement and freedom across the map. They came into this very, very confident, but now it's almost funny that they're an NA team, but the freedom just isn't there, man. Like, the fights are not on their terms. OG are picking and choosing a lot of these battles, and it feels a bit out of Complexity's hands. Even the rounds that should have been dead to rights haven't been. Nothing is safe. Nothing is sacred here.
No, NA's free. That's what OG are saying right now, I can imagine. 15-11, 4 chances to shut out on their pick and set Complexity up for elimination here in the play-in. It would be devastating, but it may not be up to them. Regali, risky peek into the window, Molly the smoke. A lot of info early for OG. The Palace is clear. That allows this triple B stack, and Cole are walking right into it.
Oh, Fasher, that could have been something, but yeah, there's so much more where that came from. It's just layer after layer as you try to get into this B site. Nexa has this one way, but it's not needed. Regali makes it happen. There's his time in the limelight. Regali stands and delivers, and just like that, OG now sit 1 map closer to continuing this battle for the IEM Cologne group stage.